Hey, what's going on, everybody? PGH Reactions here. We just got out of seeing Eternals, an early screening. First thoughts, anybody? Anybody want to start?
I like Selma Hayek.
I'm not disappointed, I guess.
I thought it was really entertaining.
It was fun.
I wasn't overly like one way or the other about it. Go Power Rangers. The biggest casualty was that pie.
Yeah,
Spoiler
Oh my god.
Oh, this is filled with spoilers.
I did. Oh yeah, obviously spoiler warning for everybody involved. But I really liked how it was a different way to tell a story. Like they kept jumping around between different time periods and filling in stuff that mattered to what they were doing. That was cool.
It wasn't confusing them jumping around and having so many characters.
No, it made sense. There was like, oh, this is this point at that time. Like it made sense.
And I think we all had concerns going into it with all these new characters establishing stories. Like, how were they gonna do that? And I think they handled it well.
Yeah, I know the names of the characters.
Everybody got
Most of them.
Everybody got some screen time. You know.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Gilgamesh is my favorite Eternal. The dude was awesome. It's his fucking like dual fuck you gloves. They're rad.
I like him because he's a good cook. That spread was amazing.
Yeah.
I eat that every day.
That was some gross beer, though.
Yeah.
I don't want any of that fermented corn spit.
I was confused the direction that they were going with the deviant villain. Because, like, I understand that he was like attacking them and taking their powers because of everything that they've done over the thousands of years, but I don't understand why he was important.
I think I can give you light to that. It was an overarching theme throughout the entire thing about life and the value of it, which is why they told the backstory of the Celestials, the backstory of the Eternals, and one couldn't survive without the other, and that they needed the planets, and it's like there was value in life throughout the entire thing, but the one thing that you didn't get a whole lot of was the deviants, and they were trying to be like, yo, this deviant has a life now, and that's why I liked whenever he said like, well, we have to kill him, and she was like, well, no, he's just one of us, like he's exactly like us.
Druig said
that. Yeah, he said he's exactly like us. Yeah, he's sentient now, just like you said. So I really like that whole theme inside of there.
I didn't go that deep with it. I just thought it was a plot point to, spoiler alert, you know, nix up some of the Eternals.
Yeah.
That was the
only 3 of them died, as far as we know.
Yeah.
But it was just like that. Other than that, I didn't really see a point in that villain.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying with the themes. Like, yeah, that makes sense, but...
Was it a villain or just like a nuisance? I feel
Yeah, it was really just a nuisance.
It was just sort of there.
Or like a different perspective. I mean, they were doing their own thing. As much as like Thanos was just trying to be his own person and farm his little shitty garden.
I like how Ajax said something like about Thanos destroying half of the population, like it was almost a good thing, like for them, you know what I mean? And then they had to bring everybody back.
So does that mean that the Celestial would have come out way sooner if Thanos didn't?
Yeah,
no,
that's what I
got
out
of it too.
Probably,
because it gave him more time.
Yeah. Because that's what she was. That's what she referenced like 5 years ago. Like, hey, this would have probably happened.
Big brain. Do you think that's why when they say the Avengers were supposed to do that whole timeline and bring people back to help the Celestial come out,
or to maybe give the Eternals time? I don't know.
I think there's something overarching that we haven't seen yet. Maybe.
Or was that even a part of the sacred timeline? Because, well, again, spoiler warning. That was, Jake, back me up. That was clearly the Watcher at the end.
Oh my God!
It was clearly
the Watcher.
You sure, bro?
And the Watcher only comes out because the multiverse is opened in What If, and the multiverse has been opened in Loki. So maybe He Who Remains didn't even consider anything that's going on with the Eternals and the emergence. I don't know.
Well, it definitely all ties together because of Jeffrey Wright being the Watcher, no question.
No question.
It's just a matter of how important is everything else we've seen.
Well, I think the person who stole the show was Pip at the end, to be honest. Like
Oh,
he
yeah.
comes out.
Fucking satyr elf thing. That was cool.
That was amazing.
I don't think that's why the theater got so crazy
No.
at that point.
They-
Oh my god,
They
that girl.
flipped out because of fucking Harry Styles.
Yeah, the whole movie,
He's
the
got
only
a
time
British
people
accent.
cheered was when
Was
Harry
for
Styles
that.
came out. It was mostly like teenage women, though.
Yeah.
Teenage girls.
Makes sense. I'm not surprised.
I think they saw the movie today just for that, honestly. Like, the movie wasn't really like a big reaction in the theater for most parts.
No.
No, not really. It was
Yeah.
rather quiet the whole time.
There was really
Yeah.
nothing that made, in my opinion, nothing that made you be like, oh yeah, you
When,
know,
the,
let's
when
go.
she killed the deviant and came back, like, from being taken over, I was
the
impressed
triple
with that.
head slice.
Yeah.
But it was
That
just kind of
cool.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
nice.
was really
Good
no
job.
like oh shit moment. I would say that there were very emotionally impactful moments.
Well, this
Like,
was a setup.
My
you know?
favorite scene in the whole thing was Makari, was that her name? Yeah, whenever she thought Druid was dead and did her scream, like that was
because she's deaf in
she's
real
deaf,
life.
and the scream sounded
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It sounded so real, like, and I don't know, that was powerful.
Yeah, I think
definitely-
she was my favorite of
It
them.
sounded like very emotional for what
Mhm.
it was, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
I think
Yeah.
Speed, the original Quicksilver.
The Stark boy saying Cersei and like
Yeah.
Cersei.
So
great. I couldn't get over it. I was like, you don't know what you're saying.
That was funny. They kept saying, both of them kept saying,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just kept saying Cersei.
and they both told her that they loved her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
I,
it doesn't add
definitely
up.
kept thinking Game of Thrones.
The whole time.
Yeah. Man.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
You know nothing. Black Knight.
So the tech that they kept using, Fastos kept like building and everything. Didn't anyone else get?
Shang-Chi vibes.
Yep.
Yeah,
rings?
definitely.
Yeah. I was
Anytime there's rings, I'm like, 10 rings.
I was like, 10 rings has to be like
It's like-
celestial
yeah,
or
celestial.
eternal tech.
Mhm.
You know, it like has to be.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
their tech is celestial tech.
Well, yeah,
Because
but
they
the-
came from celestials, so it's just
Hold
celestial
on.
tech.
So I have a theory that the end of Shang-Chi, at the end credits scene, where they said that the rings were emitting a signal.
Yeah.
I don't know. What if that signal was to one of the Celestials, such as Arishem, that now it's time to begin the emergence? Like, I don't know. Something.
And why did
for-
Arishem keep them alive? Like,
to gain their knowledge, right? He said, I'm going to look at your memory.
Yes, he said your memories will determine the fate, of the planet.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe with their interactions with humans. Because they obviously would have had thousands of years.
Yeah. Because their eyes went all crazy and he
Yeah.
like teleported away into like a mini black hole, which I thought was super fucking cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just
You
went
saw that. Like,
and then just
Yeah.
gone.
It was similar to like a Tesseract kind of disappearance. Like,
Mhm.
I'm fucking
yeah, like
gone.
inside of itself.
yeah.
It was cool how he appeared too. Like the guy all stormy. You just
Yeah.
see the eyes, and he's just there.
It made me feel like the Watcher.
I loved the scale. So she said, like, especially when like the stuff started coming out of the sea, and
Oh, yeah.
then you realize, like, oh, that's his
That's his
hand.
hand.
That's just his fucking
At
hand.
first I was like, is that his knee?
But at the same time, did any of you guys think when they're looking at the scale of the Celestial in the distance, why is that going to destroy the whole world when I can see almost all of them right now?
I thought that too. Wasn't he already
Like, that's
halfway
the-
emerged?
I think the only thing I didn't like about that
he was
is,
just being born, so maybe he was smaller.
is he supposed to destroy the whole planet?
Because remember when
Like-
they showed the thing of like a planet being destroyed, it was basically the size of like half of a planet. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like a massive celestial, it was just being born.
Okay.
So yeah.
I don't know.
I hope we see that stone statue
Yeah,
in
and-
future
mhm.
MCU stuff.
Well,
like if
that's
it's
the thing.
referenced.
This has definitely got to be the most current thing out of anything MCU in Phase 4, because there's this giant marble half celestial protruding out of the entire Earth.
Yeah.
Out of the Indian Ocean, yeah.
That's going to be spoken of by anybody in the MCU. So like,
Yeah.
this has got to be the most current thing.
I agree.
And I real quick got to give a shout out to Rob because when Ajax was riding on the horse with the hat, he goes, "That was the shot from What If?"
From What If? Remember the
girl on the
cowboy
horse?
hat,
Yeah.
chilling when they were
Right.
flying over
It was
the
the
desert.
exact fucking shot.
That was
Rob
it.
just nudges me and goes,
I goes,
"What if?"
I was like, yeah, what if?
You did say that
Yep.
but when we saw that episode,
Yeah.
you're like, I think that's from the Eternals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
she was wearing
wow.
the exact same outfit when she was riding.
So we got two
Mhm.
What If bombs, two Game
Yeah.
of Thrones bombs.
Yeah.
Dropping bombs, Marvel.
Can't wait to
Good
see where they
job.
go. with
See?
that.
What if opened the multiverse? Yeah.
Go back and watch all our what if videos.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts on the movie?
I like Selma Hayek.
It's very disappointing we're never going to get any more pie.
It stayed together pretty long, though.
But the
was
next shot, you saw it on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he crushed the.
Yeah.
You should have kept on
Rats.
the Galgamess bit.
Such a waste of a pie.
Okay, love you, bye.
All right, peace, guys. See ya.